final episode.
Yo, what is up, everyone?
Today is a special episode. We have one of our guests, our special guest from the Alpha Exchange group here, mainly a crypto trader, but also a stock market and an options trader also. Very big in the crypto segment as far as I've known him, but I'm very excited to meet him today. Introduce everyone to my good friend Steve. We not only talk market, but we also play video games together. Lots of fun times playing Valorant with my boy Steve. How are you today on this fine Sunday?
I'm doing great. It's football Sunday, watch that, and watching the market. We got a little bit of a pump going on right now, so can't really complain. Can't really complain.
Apparently there's echo on the stream. I wonder where that's coming from. Hopefully it's not
echo.
Oh my god, that was loud, dude. oh my god, that was loud. Prad has echo, really.
You could have the double input going on, maybe.
Could be having the double input somewhere on my. Okay, let me try that. Talk, Steve.
Talk.
I can't hear you though. Probably still echoing. Fixed, they say.
Well, there you go.
Okay, that fixed it, but now I can't hear him.
So you know what it is. I think I know what it is.
But now I hear myself and I hear you, which sucks.
Because you had the audio input going through twice through your mixer, probably.
Yeah.
If I was gonna take a guess.
All right. Well, we're gonna have to work with this. So, Steve, let's start again. How are you this Sunday with the football? You said you had some bets going on. How did they go?
Yep. I didn't win any yet. We'll see what's going on here in the Chiefs 49ers game. I missed a great parlay with Josh Allen. I needed him to get a touchdown. He was close. They were on the 1 yard line there. He went for a little bit of a run, hit the left guard, got back 2 yards. But it's all good, and crypto's pumping right now. I'm watching my positions just
to the moon.
Printing money.
Let's go, baby. That's what I like to hear. Yeah.
So I
got
losing
robbed.
the bets.
Sorry. Yeah, I got robbed on NFL bets too, so I understand that feeling. But let's talk about the crypto pumping. Which one are you talking about right now?
They're all going. So we got Solana. So I'm in Solana longs, but Bitcoin is breaking 69,000 as we speak. I do have a target though around 69.9 to 70,000 to hit some point this weekend. So we'll see what happens there. Solana is breaking out. We're sitting a little under 165. Whoop, never mind. We just broke 165.
Okay.
On Solana. So yeah, I'm doing great. Not to brag, but I'm in a position that's up 3,000% right now on Solana.
Big boy numbers. Let's go.
I caught the bottom of that long there on the 17th at 148.19, and now we're sitting at 164.85.
This is crazy, man. Bitcoin has been predicted to go like 100K, 1 million. Now, I'm not asking you to predict all that, but what do you think the election will be coming up and helping Bitcoin doing? Will it go higher? Will it go lower? Especially if Trump wins. Do we think we're seeing all-time high coming into play?
Yeah, so I don't really like getting into politics that much, but I will comment on the geopolitical economic aspect of it. So here's the thing. If short term now, I'm going to talk short term and then into long term. If she wins short term, I see the market having a pullback short term now. Okay, maybe 2-3 weeks leading into the inauguration. He wins, we're going to have an initial pump happen, right? And then flatline out a little bit and then go back up again. Even with her though, we'll have a pullback, then flatline, and then go back up again on the short term. Long term, I think whoever wins, the markets are always going to go up historically. It doesn't matter who the president is in quotes, the market will go all the way up. Short term, there is going to be an impact depending on who wins. Now, when it comes to crypto, they both have had their ideas of crypto. When I'm referring to him, Trump has been more vocal about crypto than she has, and has talked about incorporating it more within the government, mainly Bitcoin. But we can get into whole other things of crypto is more than just Bitcoin, right? Um, so I do see that. My prediction myself for the end of the year is if everything works out and Trump does win, I think 82 to 85,000 the end of the year. And then when we hit the middle of next year, I'm going to say early Q3 ish, right? I think around 180 to 220 it would be the tops on the bull market there. And then I think we start our bear in 2026. And I think that reflects not even just crypto. I think we'll have a little bit of pullback in the stock market as well around that time frame. It would just work out with how the way cycles have been going.
Okay, that's a pretty good prediction that we got on board over here. Thank you for that. Let's actually dive into how you got into trading. When did you start trading? Were you always into crypto, or were you stock market? So how did you begin this journey?
Yeah, so I first got exposure to the stock market, right? My stepdad obviously traded in the stock market, and I was intrigued by that. But I took an economics class in high school, right? The high school made you take an economics class, and they gave you a fake account, and you basically had to just go trade stocks for that semester in school, and whoever was the most profitable got a prize, right? So I ended up being the most profitable, and it just kind of stuck from there. And then I watched my stepdad and I learned from him. And then when I was eventually over the age of 18, I started trading, and I started doing that in the stock market. And then I got exposure to Bitcoin in 2011 at the time. And I liked what Bitcoin was. And I bought some, and I'm thankful that I did. Uh, and been holding since. Been holding since.
Hodler, baby, I love it.
Yeah, yeah,
um
yeah.
Early adopter to Bitcoin, is that something that I regret on? I never really early adopted into Bitcoin. I just kind of stuck in my stock market world, and I never expanded. But I'm glad eventually down the road I said, fuck it, let's get join the party. I don't want to get left behind. So I did make a little bit money off crypto. I'm happy with that. But I'm going to be very upset with this bull run 120 target if it does come into play.
120? No, no, no. 180 to 220.
Okay, then maybe I still got some room to play.
You still have some room to play. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
What is your opinion on people trading like Bitcoin and cryptocurrency moves using the stock market, like IBIT, MSTR, Coinbase?
Yeah, so I think they play their parts. For the ETF, I understand it. For the stock guys, right? They have exposure to Bitcoin, right? So they can buy the ETFs. I do own one of each of the ETFs just from a historical standpoint for crypto at all, for crypto as all. But for myself, I have exposure to Bitcoin. I can buy Bitcoin directly, right? The ETFs represent approximately 0.006 Bitcoin for each share that you buy of the ETF. I could just go and buy that Bitcoin straight out. I don't need the ETF, but I think to have that sense of regulatory, right, in quotes, and have the SEC saying what you can and can't do, and it is good. MicroStrategy in particular um, has the most exposure to Bitcoin, even more than the ETFs. I would say, just because they own so much of the underlying
Yeah.
asset themselves. Where with the ETFs, they're going into custodialship with Coinbase, right? Kraken as well is holding it, but them themselves aren't holding the Bitcoin. It's not their Bitcoin. The Bitcoin is the shareholders' Bitcoin. Where with MicroStrategy, the company itself owns the Bitcoin, not the shareholders. So you get better benefits, I think, by holding MicroStrategy than you would with the ETF when it comes to Bitcoin, right? Then you have obviously mentioned Coin. Coin is Coinbase. Coinbase is one of the major uh, centralized exchanges within crypto behind Binance and Crypto.com, I would say, is the big three there. And now they're publicly traded on the stock market. I think they're going good. You don't really have exposure to crypto though with Coinbase. I direct exposure. You don't have direct exposure going through Coinbase. You have indirect exposure because they're making money off of fees that are coming through. Obviously, Coinbase does hold some. I I don't know personally how much of that directs towards the price of the actual shares
Right.
versus what the company is valued at for what they're doing in the market. Now, it's funny. I was talking to the co-host yesterday, and we were talking about different stocks that have direct access to crypto. And Grayscale, I'm not Grayscale, sorry. Van Eck has a ETF called DAPP, and that has exposure to so many things within crypto, from mining to Coinbase to solar, right? That's all around crypto, and I would go as far as saying that is a better ETF to buy than Bitcoin ETFs.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
You get
called
more
DAPP.
exposure to like the cryptocurrency side of the world out of it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Because you have exposure to all the mining companies, right? Riot, Myra, Marathon. I'm sorry, I was going to say the ticker. So you have Riot, Marathon. You have Iris Energy as well. They're a solar power mining company. Um, Coinbase, right? So you have exposure to a large subset of stuff within the crypto sphere. That's just not just Bitcoin.
I will put that into my notes. DAPP, guys, who's watching
Yes,
in the
sir.
chat and the stock market world. And if you want to be more exposure to cryptocurrencies, here's a brand new ETF being taught to us. Shout out to Steve. I want to talk about, you said you started trading at a pretty early age, 18. Did you start swinging the bat right off the because you had no
No,
responsibilities, nothing, so you start swinging it, or how did you go at it?
no. I was just buying, holding, selling after a few months that I seen it go up. What really my first stock that I ever bought was actually Rite Aid. Um,
Okay, I think I remember
yeah,
that.
okay, so just Rite Aid. That was the first stock I ever bought. I still own it. I did sell it and then rebought. But I'm always gonna own that just because it's a something that's close to the heart, I guess you could say. And then I switched over to longer term holds, right? So I have BP. I love BP. I love the dividends that come from that. And then I got exposed to the world of options. Um, and as we know, the world of options is totally different than than the regular market, and it just
Beautiful
got me
market.
hooked. A beautiful market. I loved it. I loved it. And I'm a little bit different with options than most people. I'll sell a majority of the contracts that I have at 20% profit.
Yeah,
I don't
scalp it.
wait. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I could buy it and 10 seconds later I have 20% profit, I sell it, you know. Uh I don't want to try to hold it and wait for the decay to come from the delta and the theta, right? I don't want any of that. I don't want to deal with that. Let somebody else deal with it. I just want to make my quick 20%. I do hold a couple contracts after I sell, but a majority of everything I sell is around 20% profit. And you can get that pretty fast with contracts, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever get to the point of blowing up an account and having to rebuild it
Of
all the
course.
way? Yeah. So how
Of
did you
course.
how did you have to deal with that?
Yeah, so it definitely was a mental strain, right? It fucks with your emotions. I apologize for cursing. That's just how
No,
I
go.
talk.
I curse on the
Yeah,
stream
yeah,
all day. Go
yeah.
for it.
Okay. Yeah, so it definitely fucks with your emotions, uh, your mentality, of how you're going to conduct yourself. Do you think you fouled, right? Like, what the hell did I do? Um, so I remember the first account that I blew up, I lost probably about $10,000, right? 20 years old, losing 10K.
That's a lot.
It's a lot of money,
Yeah.
right? Like it hurts. It hurts. So just built it back up slowly again, blew it again. And I was like, all right, this is fine. Built it up and went, 5, 6 years. And then I had a point where I blew up the account again. And then I sat and thought for a little while, do I actually want to fully commit everything into this? And I said, you know what, I am. I'm going to do it, and it's been good since. I
Beautiful.
knock on wood, knock on wood. I blew up a couple futures accounts in crypto when I first started getting into trading futures on crypto. I blew a few accounts on that, but like nothing crazy, because what I use to actively trade in crypto versus my holdings is like very, very, very small percent. So I don't really care if I lose the whole account in futures trading, because I'm only entering a position very small amount. So I don't care if
Right.
I get liquidated, you know. Um, but yeah, no, it's knock on wood. I haven't done it for a very long time, and I hope it is past me. And anybody that says they have never blown up an account, okay,
They haven't
is
traded
lying
hard
to you,
enough.
and they're lying to you. Okay,
Exactly.
I don't care who it is. Who it is. You could ask Warren Buffett. 100% Warren Buffett has blew up 2 or 3 accounts before he started learning from
For
his
sure.
mistakes. Yeah.
You just have to. Like, losses are the step of the way to learn through this journey. You can either learn from your own losses, or if you get lucky enough to get learn from other people's losses, people are mentoring you and walking you through the I don't know, the gauntlet, I guess. So just being able to learn through those journeys without able to blowing an account, I don't think anyone really makes it. Um, so thank you for sharing that journey, the process. Still sticking through it. You ended up, I guess, going the more day trading route for crypto than stock market.
No, no. I was day trading the stock market part time, right? Part time. I was doing that for 10 years. Part time. Full time now. Full time has been about 5, 6 years. Full time. And out of that, about 4.5, 5 years in crypto as well. And I've switched a majority of my day trading over to crypto versus the stock market. I probably still, if I trade the stock market, if I had to put a percent wise, is probably 10 to 15% of day trading I do in the stock market. The majority of it is within the crypto sphere, though.
Yeah, so isn't that like, I guess we were talking about this before going live. For me, day trade 9:30 to 4. I'm out 4 o'clock. Fuck the market, and then I'll come back and see what happens at 9:30. But you, dude, you're such a hardworking guy. You're live 9 a.m. You're offline 9 a.m. Your streams are online throughout the day. You're helping people in your Discord after 9 p.m. anyways. So it's like crypto is all around the clock. So you are all around the clock. It's like, how do you keep up with all that?
Yeah, well, so I will say this: it's just not me, right? There is a group of us that runs the channel,
Shout out to your
and
people.
yeah, shout out to Raven, Jesse, Dunt, Crypto Head, right? Reason, um, Crypto Head is a newer addition that we've added to the channel. And anyway, but it's not just a one person show. There is a group of us that runs it, and um, we spread out the knowledge. Now, I would say 9 out of 10 times we're all pretty much on stream at the same time, right? So, um, but afterwards, I definitely put I put in a lot of hours, like a lot, right? But not just for the channel; it's also for myself, is because crypto is open 24 hours a day, right? Um, and the community that we have built, I don't look at it as viewers, right? I don't look at it as, subs or anything like that. Is we're a group of friends, right? There's a solid group of people that hang out in the Discord no matter what every single day, right? And we bullshit, we watch videos, we talk, we trade, etc., right? So is beyond just me, is it it's the community that holds the channel more than just one singular person, if
Hell
that
yeah.
makes sense, you
Hell,
know?
for sure. Awesome people that I met in there, you know, Relapse, Just Rock, Presley, everyone that we played poker with on Sunday, Saturday or Sunday nights, whatever night that was.
Saturday nights, yep.
Saturday nights, watching some sports with you guys, watching shows with you guys, all of that was fun. So, and now, not only all that, I get to talk crypto with you and learn about crypto. So let me, scratch your brain a little bit for someone who's a very stock markety, doesn't know crypto a lot. What exactly is the purpose of Bitcoin?
Well, before I start, you got a dono, my guy.
Okay, $20 from Scott's due diligence. Hey, TraderPrad. Hey, Scott. Thank you for the $20. Appreciate the support. We also have a bunch of people, Alpha fans in the house. Caleb, or sorry, it's not Caleb, but we're gonna call him Caleb Presley. C. Presley's in the house. Chris Presley. Yep. Alpha Relapse in the house. But all those messages are showing up as a wrong. They're not showing up as the emojis. They're showing up as a text itself. That's kind of bad. MSTR, baby, says Angry Buddha. We talked about MSTR earlier. Hell yeah, MSTR. Thank you for the $20 again, Scott. Appreciate it.
Yeah, so let me just reevaluate this question you just said. Coming from a stock person into crypto, right? And then I saw the dono and I was like,
yeah, so for someone like who's a stock market guy, not really in the crypto world at all, what is I guess the main advantage of Bitcoin? What is Bitcoin trying to attack in the world, and then what is it trying to solve?
Yeah, so I think that is a very closed-minded question in the sense of Bitcoin, right?
Gotcha.
So crypto itself as a whole is way beyond Bitcoin. I know everybody uses the example, Bitcoin is like gold, it holds value. To an extent it does, but it was the start of decentralization, right? In the start of getting away from a centralized banking system, a centralized financial system, to have that decentralized aspect. So Bitcoin was the baby of that, was it now has become the daddy, right? It is the groundwork, the foundation for what crypto has become. And for Bitcoin is just holds value and you're able to send large amounts of money. Now, there's other chains where you can send large amounts of money as well, but with Bitcoin, you know, you could go out and buy $500 million of Bitcoin on the open market, and it's not going to affect the price that dramatically. Where if you switch to other types of crypto and you bought $500 on the 500 million on the open market, it's going to affect the price, right? I'm not going to sit here and say Bitcoin's not going to wick up. Bitcoin might wick up a few $100, right? But if you go out and let's just say you buy $500 million of Ethereum or $500 million of Solana and you just market smash that, the price is going to skyrocket, right? And then you're going to have that downwards because orders are just, you're going to skip orders and you're going to screw yourself at the end of the day, right? You market by right now, let's say at 164. You market smash 500. Your average might be 168 just because it's going to skyrocket, right? With Bitcoin, you won't have that. So in that sense, you can send large amounts of money and not have a direct market impact and hold value in that sense. Now, from the technology standpoint of it, is that's a whole other segment and thing, and we can get into that if you want. But just comparing from the stock market to Bitcoin, would be the easiest thing to say.
Yeah, so obviously crypto is not just Bitcoin. There's a lot more to it than just Bitcoin. And let's talk about a little bit of more in the cryptocurrency world. I guess it's not as big of the cryptocurrency part as it was earlier, but it's still there about these NFTs and these horse races that I've just seen you do not too long ago. Boy,
Yeah.
those horse races were fun to watch. I only can imagine what the experiences of actually playing those horse races.
Yeah, so NFTs are non-fungible tokens. Um, so you can look at it as data. I'm going to put this in very simple terms. Is everyone looks at NFTs as being pictures, right? And that's cool. You can look at NFTs being pictures, but NFTs are more than pictures, right? NFTs is an actual contract, right? An asset per se. So let's say you have the deed to your house, right? You can put your deed to your house in a form of an NFT, and that is stamped on the blockchain, okay? And it is locked in, right? So BlackRock's trying to do that as well with RWAs, so real world assets. We can get into that later. But anyway, so NFTs, right, is basically a data point stamp on the blockchain for whatever chain that you're going on. And this is in simpler terms, right? Just not to complicate it. And then you have the picture that could go along with that NFT if you really want that. And the picture is just a URL to Amazon Web Services, right? To just get the picture. Now, NFTs became big because they've seen fancy, funny pictures of penguins and horses and lions and cats and a lot of other
Monkeys.
things, monkeys, yeah, like yeah, we and stuff. And then you got into the utilities of it by having a game, right? So like the horse racing is called Zed. So you have your horses on the blockchain, right? And you have your horse and you race your horse against other horses that are NFTs, but then you can go as your horse races, the stats change for your horse, then you can go and breed with another horse. Right? So if you had a female horse, you could go out and find a male horse that was good and pay a stud fee. Right? So my male horse, let's say you had a female horse or mare, it would come to me and be like, "Hey, I want to buy your virtual semen," right? I said, okay, no problem. So you pay a fee and I'll let my stud horse, right, get it on with
Pregnate.
your mare
Yeah.
horse. Yeah, exactly. And you get a baby from it. And you have a baby horse that would have
Do you
the
only get one or do you
mixture.
get more than one?
You get one. You get
Ah,
one. But
okay.
but it's monthly though.
Okay.
So you can have multiple horses throughout the year, right? Because it's every month. But it takes a mixture of DNA from the father and from the mother to make the child, right? The baby horse. And based on how well the stats are from the mother's horse versus the father horse, it gives you a general idea of how well the offspring of said horse is going to be. And if you have very good horses, you can make a lot of money with it, right? During the height of it, I had a female horse that produced four top 10 horses in the whole game. And how I said earlier, you could pay to get semen from a male horse. People were paying me just to get the offspring.
Because your mom horse was just so OP.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Exactly. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. 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 And it's a fun game. They had a lot of mishaps that happened within the organization itself, and unfortunately, the game kind of declined down, and assets declined. And then there's a couple competitors, right? Photo Finish came out with a couple horse games as well. They're okay. They're doing good. But in that sphere of the horse racing, it's kind of in a weird funk right now. We've been playing a game that's on Epic. It's called Off the Grid. We've been playing that for a couple of weeks now, and that's an NFT game that's based on the Avalanche network. So your NFTs are in sense weapons hats, mustaches, attachments. Anything you can think of that's in the game is also an NFT, and then it comes with a currency as well. It's called guns, and it's their own token that they have that you can uh, buy things with and sell, etc., etc. Sorry, I
That's
went on a tangent.
crazy. No, I didn't know
Yeah.
Epic was doing that. So they have their own
Y-
NFT currency game that people are buying the currency in the game, and it's also appreciating outside in real life.
so Epic now, they've had like 3 NFT games.
Okay.
So let's say you yourself made an NFT project that was a game based, right? Epic is opening to being able to host these games on
Epic is
on their
just trying to
engines.
find the next Fortnite that they can get rich off again, eh?
Now
Shout out to
they're
them
doing
for
it. I can tell you that. And if these NFT games go out and go crazy, Epic is at the forefront. Steam has already said that they're not touching it.
Did you
So
know that there is a way bigger gaming market that apparently exists that's not even on Steam, that's not Epic, that's nowhere else? It's actually a Montreal company. They make porn video games, and that
I
has a
believe it.
lot bigger of online concurrent users, whatever number, than normal video games.
How long have you been subscribed?
I haven't, but I saw Asmongold like reviewing this video about it. I was like, holy, that stat is insane.
Okay, you didn't go out and test it to
No,
see if it was true.
I got
No,
other things I can go do. I don't need to go play a video game. But it was an
gotcha.
insane statistic to even have shown. I was like, no way that's possible. Then I went and searched that company on Wikipedia. I was like, okay, the company is real, but it's a private company, so you don't really know any statistics about it. So I was like, okay, damn, this is kind of insane if it's true, because that just goes to show. Maybe if is there any pornography in cryptocurrency?
Yeah, yeah. So there is 2 tokens. They're called cummies and pubes, and they were working for an adult site to use as tips for creators on said site. Where you could
Was
just
it
buy these.
big by any chance or no?
Nah, not
Nah.
really. It didn't really take off. Now the gaming aspect of crypto has taken off, and there's a lot of games that are
Right.
going. And I'll say this: crypto bros will spend a lot of money on nonsense. But if you have a product that's very good, the product will do very good. And
Since you're so in
we
this
don't mind
world,
spending money. Yep.
what's the next big game that you think we should keep an eye on?
Game or project?
Project, game, you tell me.
I am super heavy on Sui right now.
Zooey?
SUI.
Oh, like
SUI.
the Cristiano Ronaldo Sui?
Yeah, you could say that. So
Okay.
it's a chain. It's a layer 1 chain. Um, it's trading at like 2 something right now. I've mentioned it a few times before on to a couple people when it was around 60 cents. I think I even might have messaged it to you as well. It's 215 right now. My short-term target on it is 250 to $3. Long-term target around 6 to 7. Um just because they have some token unlocks that are coming, and more when you look at the tokenomics, more shares, we can call it shares, right? For you guys to have layman terms, the more shares that are out in the market, the lower the price is
Mm-hmm.
going to be. But I think that's a good target for Sui. But they're focusing on gaming right now really hard. You remember the PSP like
Oh
handheld,
yeah, I
like,
had one.
okay, so they're making one themselves that's crypto based and crypto gaming based. Like here, for instance, this phone, right? This phone is a crypto phone. Okay, this is based on Solana network. It uses Helium Mobile. So the network to talk on is all through mining systems that are just placed throughout. So like I have one over here and I have an antenna, right? So I'm contributing to the network and it's all decentralized, right? The is protocols are getting approved and everything by people that are mining and validating the network.
Your
And
phone is connected to crypto?
yes, sir.
Okay,
It's it,
continue.
it's it's a decentralized phone.
Okay.
I know it sounds crazy to think of,
Yeah.
right? But yeah, yeah. So like here, iPhone, right? Connected to Apple, connected to my cell phone battery.
T-Mobile, whatever, yeah.
Yeah. Solana phone, decentralized. Okay. I own it. Nobody else owns it at all. And I talk on it through the validation of the blockchain.
Makes sense.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing that's even getting more with that is cell phone companies, so T-Mobile, AT&T, et cetera, is paying to offload excess data that they have because so many people are on their network, right? Is they're offloading that data to the Helium network and getting paid money for it. So as I walk around with my phone, I'm making money because my phone is acting as a hotspot
A
and
tether.
validator.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Makes sense.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Listen, I'm not going to make $1 million off of it, right?
It's
But
whatever you get, like something here, some there, some there. It adds
exactly.
up.
$20 a month,
Adds
right?
up.
$20 a month, unlimited everything.
That's awesome. And you can
And
call people from it, you can do everything,
do
right?
everything.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
You don't have to pay a
Yeah.
monthly phone service bill.
There
Okay.
is, but it pays for itself though, right?
Right.
So I don't see any money coming out of my pocket ever for it. And I make money actually on it. Since I got this in January, I probably made about 4K from it.
Now the main question is, do you get as many scam calls on this one compared to the other one?
Nope.
All right, I'm changing it. Fuck my phone service. I'm dumping this guy tomorrow. I'm going to the Helium network.
Yeah, you can slip if your phone's unlocked. You get a SIM card and you put the SIM card in your phone.
I think my phone's unlocked. Yeah, I paid for it straight out. It's a Google phone though, so
that's fine. You got a Pixel, dude?
Yeah.
I got a Pixel too.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, dude. Let me tell you, we're gonna go on a tangent, but I love my Pixel, man.
Oh yeah, I love my Pixel, baby. Tell me,
bro. 10 times better than the iPhone. I don't care what anybody says. I love my Pixel. Now everybody in your community is gonna think I'm some kind of like drug dealer. I have 3 cell phones.
Oh, it's hilarious.
But Pixels are great. Yeah, one for the plug. Yeah. But no, I love it. And I saw Raven there. Raven. I mentioned his name earlier. Very big part of the stream. It's utility, right? It's not just the crypto aspect of watch the money go up. It's showing real world usage of what crypto is about.
Yeah, that's an awesome. That's something I didn't even know existed. You taught me that today, and my mind's kind of blown. But it makes sense. It didn't really like. I was like, why didn't I think that this existed before? This should have existed, and I should have done my own research about it. But I'm glad that you taught me something about it. Hopefully, people in my chat who haven't already known that this existed, now they do, and they will do a little bit more into it. How much does this take away from like the other existing, like T-Mobile, Verizon is something that I'm wondering in the back of my head. Eventually, do these companies die down and let's say Helium takes over? So I'm just kind of like
So
in my head over there.
Yeah, so right now they're paying for Helium to take on some of their burden that they have on their network to ease their network because it's just so many people that's on it. So whether it's directly or indirectly, Helium has already taken on these customers from T-Mobile, AT&T, right, Verizon, they're already taking on that. And the only way that these companies can take onto it is they have to buy the helium token, right? And the helium token is capped out and they're burning it at a very good rate. You can look at the price of helium from, let me pull up a chart for you. It's called HNT is the ticker, okay? HNT is the ticker for helium. I don't want to be wrong. So it's sitting at $7.
If you want to
But
share your screen, go for it.
yeah, I can. It was down. It got up to. I don't know how to share my screen in here. It got up to $9 in September, but in July, June, it was down to 278. And then the cell phone carriers had to start buying, right? They had to start buying to offload the data. They changed it. And then they started burning the excess supply of helium, you know? So it just made the price go skyrocket.
Yeah, 100%.
Yep. Yeah.
Something I've heard about in this cryptocurrency world, especially when NFTs were blowing up, is like gas prices, how much you're paying for the transaction to actually transact. How does that come into play for all of this when you're using a mobile service, connecting calls, and so on? Is it
Yes.
cheaper to go this route than the traditional route?
It's so negligible, right? So you have different chains for the gas, right? So depending on the chain itself dictates how much you pay in fees. So for Bitcoin, right? For Bitcoin, if you want to send a transaction on Bitcoin, as low as I've seen it was about $1.20 ish. I've seen it as high as almost $10,000, right? Then you have Ethereum. The cheapest I paid on Ethereum was like 10 cents, and the highest I've ever paid on Ethereum was a little over $6,000, and I have seen it go up to almost 50,000 just to send one transaction. Then you have Solana, for instance, where transactions are capped at 0.002 cents, right? But then you have the downside of that, where the Solana Foundation, because of the valid, you have proof of work versus proof of stake. So the way the Solana Foundation offsets the cost to keep their fees low is they go and mint more tokens to pay out to validators to keep that fee at a minimum. The downside of that is more tokens are coming into circulation, so the price gets suppressed from going up more. So it has its pros and cons. So gas is super cheap. This is built on Solana network. So again, it's negligible whenever you're doing anything itself, you know, and it's within the Helium environment that's on Solana, where you have Polygon is a layer 2 within Ethereum. So you have all these crazy gases that you're paying on Ethereum, but when you're in the environment of Polygon, even though it's on Ethereum, you're in the Polygon environment and it's super cheap. It's
Okay. So
5 to 10 cents.
there are other avenues where it's negligible, and then obviously you have Ethereum, which is kind of crazy sometimes.
Yeah,
Gotcha. Okay. So
exactly.
what actually caused Ethereum's like gas prices to be that high? Is it like what is that?
Yeah, it's based on how much transactions are going on the network, right? So during during the big run on Ethereum with NFTs pushed it up, you have more people going through doing transactions
Gotcha.
than being able to get confirmed. So the gas price goes up and whoever has the highest gas basically gets pushed down in front. The worst that was happening at the time is you were paying, let's say, $150, $200 in gas, but then your transaction fails. You lost that gas that you put through for that transaction, and then you have to rebuy it again and repay for the
Hmm.
transaction. Um, which is the downside to a lot of things. But Ethereum, you won't have that much anymore because they switched over to a proof of stake network where you have validators and nodes that approve each transaction versus like miners. would be the simplest way to do it. Because if I start getting into the difference between proof of stake and proof of work, you're not gonna fucking understand anything.
Yeah, I'm gonna lose my shit.
Yeah. You're gonna be like, what was this guy talking?
Let's talk about how crazy you could get with cryptocurrency accounts. So you can let's talk about leverage.
Leverage trading, sure.
Yeah.
What do you want to?
So,
what do you want to talk about?
What's the craziest leverage that you got to, and what's the craziest leverage you can get to?
The craziest leverage that I can actively trade on if I want right now is 1000x.
That's insane.
I wouldn't suggest doing it, right? So I am in a couple of trades. So like I'm in a trade on Solana that's 10x. I'm in a trade on Sui that's 5x. Now I'm also on a trade in Solana that's 200x, right? So I fluctuate margins based on how much leverage I'm using, right? But a general rule of thumb, I don't really go over 30x at all. I stick way under from 30 or below. If I'm looking to have a good time, or if the price is moving violently, right? We have a lot of volatility that's going on in volume pushing through. I'll go and up the leverage a little bit, to get a little bit more exposure, but high leverage is terrible. I don't recommend anybody
For sure.
to do it. Yeah. When people ask me about it and I say there's 1000x leverage, I won't even tell people where you can access that. But yeah, no. On most exchanges, whether they're centralized exchanges like Binance, cap you out about 120. We're partnered with some exchanges, and they cap out at 200x.
If you want to give a shout out to them, go for it.
Yeah, so we're partnered with Bluefin, CoinCatch, and Wex, but I enjoy Bluefin and CoinCatch is my two biggest ones that I trade on personally. And I can send you links if you like, post or whatever you want to do. But yeah, that's the exchanges. Liquidity is great with them. Our reps are awesome. With Bluefin, like if you ever have a problem, you don't even have to deal with their customer service. We have a customer service set up in our Discord actually, and there's somebody that's dedicated just for our community. So it's good customer service in that sense. So yeah, I saw somebody, Buddha said, Jupe perps. Jupe is great. I love Jupe. I am the most bullish there is on Jupe. The only thing about Jupe perps is the fees are ridiculous, my man. It is ridiculous. No, it isn't. It isn't, Ross. I actually went and market bought $10 billion worth of Bitcoin before we started the show. All right.
Just pumping the market, pumping the Bitcoin, pumping everything. Pump.
Yeah.
The Zach Morris lifestyle.
Yes.
Oh man, Zach Morris, that's a character. Let's talk about characters real quick. In the stock market world, you have some wild characters, some pumpers, some these Chinese stocks that are not even real, that go to ridiculous prices and crash back down. In cryptocurrencies, I am so glad to have people like you in cryptocurrency worlds who are not trying to go and scam people, not trying to fuck people over. But let's talk about all those bad players over here. Like, how has that impacted crypto, and how can we go to a better future where those people are less? They're not gonna disappear because you still have a new Chinese hustle stock, even with all the regulation in stock market. So it's not going to completely disappear, but how could we try to minimize this?
Yeah, so in simple terms, stop engaging with them, right? So when you stop engaging with these scammers, when you stop engaging with platforms that are scamming, they grift away, right? Like they're just grifters. They just care about getting a quick 500x or whatever it is and move on to the next thing. They sell their soul for $1,000 and they don't really care. So I don't think there really is a way for us to totally get rid of it, right? Because if there was, grandma wouldn't be buying Google Play cards. You know what I'm saying? Like, so there's always going to be scammers, and I wish there was a simple answer as how to get rid of them. Being aware, right? Being aware of the latest and greatest things that are going on to how people get scammed, and stay away from the pumps, right?
Yeah.
Like there's a website that literally takes you 10 seconds to make a shit coin, right? So a shit coin is a useless thing like the Chinese stocks, right? It's just a pump and dump, and you can literally make one. Just stop using the platform. Like if you stop using the platform, it will just disappear eventually, right? But people post on Twitter or whatever. It's like, hey, I put $10 into this and I made 500,000. You start showing that, everybody is going to go and try.
But did they actually make that 500K, or are they just bullshitting about it and then they're trying to use this post to pump it?
No, you can see it because it's on chain. You
Okay.
can see that they made money, right? Whether they were the ones behind making it or not. But they'll go and sell, and everybody that bought before them lose,
Crapped.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can look at it as that's how trading is, right? When I go and I'm leverage trading, as I win, there's somebody losing on the other side. Um, so from a moral aspect, you kind of have to block that part out of it. But when it comes to these shit coins with the pump and dump, that's all it is, man. People are just gonna go and push this to their bags look good, and then they're gonna sell, you know. And I'm not going to sit here and say that I've never bought them. I have. I can sit here and say that I've never made any. I can sit here and say I don't plan on ever making any, not being involved in it. And I've made this very clear with my with the community is if you ever see me shilling any kind of NFT project or any kind of shitcoin, I want you to X me, get rid of me, cancel
100%.
me off, cancel me.
100%.
You know?
Since we're talking about characters and you just mentioned Bag, if I remember correctly, you do have a character named Bag Boy?
Baghead, dude.
Baghead, there you go.
Baghead.
I almost forgot.
Yes, sir.
That was almost a pretty clue segue over there. Let's talk about Baghead.
Baghead, dude. So Baghead is my GTA RP. So if you don't know what GTA RP is, there is this great video game called Grand Theft Auto. Well, when you play on your computer, you can go into a modded world, right, through a program called 5M. And you can RP, so role play, as anything as you want. And there's rules that are set up. And think of it as a society within a video game. So you have a job, right? People have a job where they work at restaurants, they work at car dealerships, mechanics, police officers, doctors, right? Then you also have criminals. And then everywhere in between that, every person has unique attributes to them that makes them their characters. So for myself is Baghead. I have a bunch of scars over my face. I have the unique story of how I got the scars, crazy childhood, and lived in the woods, etc., etc. And I tried to find rehab and landed into the big city where this is in Los Angeles, and I just wear a bag on my head to cover my scars, so no one has ever seen my face. You know, so you make a backstory to your character, and you kind of just stick to that.
Yeah, no, I never really got into the GTA RP gameplay myself, but I always love watching XQC or some of the big streamers actually whenever they post the videos. I've just been more like the Counter-Strike, Valorant, shooting kind of gameplay guy. But I'm watching you play that one day was actually fun on Twitch. You know, P streams on Twitch, I think, almost every single day at this point, right? So go check them out.
Except Sundays. Yeah.
Except for Sundays.
Sundays,
gotcha.
But the stream is up 24/7, right? Like the stream's up right now, even though we're not on the stream.
100%, yeah. So for those of you who don't know about him, go check him out on his streams. The link on no matter what platform you're watching should be in the title directly. So Baghead, I want to go from the Baghead character to the game itself, and how awesome would it be if GTA actually made something that was very similar to the Epic game lifestyle, where you're actually cryptocurrency, everything's connected to the blockchain. Rockstar could actually help propel a specific currency, maybe even Dogecoin. They could partner with Dogecoin to do something fun and cool. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, so as of right now with like Grand Theft Auto 5 through this modded version, there is some cities that do have crypto involved that translate to real money. But it's very difficult.
Mm.
Now, on the flip side of that, Rockstar itself is involved with crypto. Um, and they are involved in building their own culture within
Like
crypto, building
metaverse.
similar to a metaverse, yeah, but more so of a chain. And then the metaverse itself would be the video game.
Gotcha.
And crypto is going to be directly involved in Grand Theft Auto 6. I have been told from, you know, somebody, right?
Insider
I've been in
trading.
this. No, I've been in the space for a very long time,
Hell
right?
yeah.
And I am a very I want to say that I'm a very trustworthy forward person. If I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it kind of deal. And I have gained a lot of networking with a lot of people, and I can confirm that there is going to be crypto in Grand Theft Auto. That's semi-public. It's been out there a little bit, but directly, crypto is going to be involved. In
That's
Grand Theft Auto
awesome. That's
6.
something I was
Yeah,
looking
yeah,
forward to see happen. So
yeah,
let's go. Looking forward to see
yeah, dude.
how exactly that whole system comes out to play. That's exciting. Um,
It's gonna be me. I'm gonna love it, dude. I'm gonna love just having. So they're also gonna have similar to the stock market, their version of the stock market. The stock market's very regulated, so they can't simulate the stock market per se in the game. But crypto isn't really regulated. They can simulate that within the game and still have outside assets in the form of a cryptocurrency to buy and sell things in
okay.
the game. Yeah.
Um, Earlier before we went live, you were talking about something about the
Oh,
New
you
York.
weren't supposed to bring that up.
Oh,
What are you
it's
doing?
okay. It's okay. Uh, Something about the New York Stock Exchange going to the blockchain.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
said, don't tell
So
me yet. Please tell me during the stream. I think that would be a great topic for the stream. So I would like for you to dive into that a little bit.
yeah, sure. So time frame on it, I believe is 6 years or sooner, right? 8 years around there sooner, where they are going to be having all the finalizations, right? So you know how when you place your stock in, you have to wait for it to hit the clearinghouse, et cetera, et cetera. That is all going to be done on the blockchain, so it hits clearinghouses faster, right? So blockchain is instant, and the data is saved on chain. So you have your order books. That's great, everything cool. But when you're able to go and track where the money's coming from, where the money's being bought and sold from, obviously you have the dark pool money that flows through the stock market. But the majority of the time, they can have an idea of where it comes from. This will be on chain, and you'll be able to track every single order that comes through the stock market on chain, and not just through Bloomberg terminal where you got to pay, $100,000 a year or whatever
Yeah.
it is to have access.
So that's basically eliminating dark pools in a way.
To an extent, yeah,
That's
because
interesting.
dark pools involve crypto from, it involves a little bit of crypto within the dark pool
Does
money.
crypto not have dark pools? Like there's no hidden gateways that people are transacting through that you can't really track? There
There
is.
is, yes. Um, I know how to do it. I have used it a few times, but I don't teach people because there's sides of crypto that people don't need to know about that just aren't good for crypto in itself.
I want to kind of go into that side a little bit. Let me ask you if this question is real because this is something I've done in my back in my day.
Okay.
Tried to order something illegal from the dark
It's
web, right?
very real.
And you see something about tumblers Bitcoin tumbler. You send a Bitcoin over here, they tumble up the transaction, and then they give you back a different coin. That way you're not trackable. Is that real or is that bullshit?
It's very real.
Real. Okay. Okay.
Very real. Very real. But then you can get into privacy chains where privacy chains have its use case that's good and bad.
It's like a temporary email, like 10-minute temporary email.
No.
Okay.
It goes beyond that, right? So um, you can send transactions, right? So if you have your crypto wallet, I have my crypto wallet. We interact with each other. I see what your wallet address is. I can see everything that you have ever done on chain. With privacy networks, you can see a transaction, but you don't know where that transaction is. You don't know what's inside the transaction. There's chains where you just don't see anything, right? It's just blank. Then there is privacy chains for myself. I'm super heavy in a thing called secret network. Um, with that, that's a privacy chain. And the way they work is they have these things called trusted environments. So think of a box, okay? So I have my transaction coming through, okay? You can see the transaction. My transaction comes to you. It goes in this box, it closes. No one can see what's inside this box but you and myself, okay? And we can give access to other people to see what's inside this box. But outside of that, no one else can do it. So with this, where I see real world use cases coming into play is medical records, right? Government entities and stuff like that. So I know in Canada it's a little bit different. You know, you guys got to wait, almost a year to just see your regular doctor for a checkup. Here in America, here in America, I can just go see my doctor.
You're not wrong. I've been waiting for an MRI scan for 3 months now. No call, nothing.
Yeah. So, I go see my primary doctor, right? And then I have to go see a specialist, right? It's very difficult to get to get medical records across from one doctor to the other. But if you have this
On the blockchain.
on the blockchain within this privacy network, you'll be able to able to do that.
How safe is it against hackers then in that case? Because, companies get hacked all the time, data breaches and all that. Is it up to the provider of that currency or the provider of that blockchain who is now responsible for the security of it? How does that come into play?
Yeah, so it comes down to validators, right? So not just one entity owns the chain. Everybody that owns a validator owns that chain. So even though you're a validator on the chain and you're confirming those transactions, you still can't see what's inside that trusted environment, okay? So it doesn't matter if the chain gets hacked or an exploit happens. If you're not from your wallet is like your ID, right? In quotes, your ID. If you are not one of the people that are on that wallet inside that trusted environment, if your wallet isn't one of them, you're not going to be able to access what's inside of it at all. It is completely locked down.
Okay. How does one become a validator?
Yeah, so there's multiple ways. Different chains are different requirements. So let's say for Solana, for instance, you want to become a validator on Solana, you need to own 50,000 Solana that you need to stake. You become a validator node operator on Ethereum, it's 32 ETH that you have to stake to become one. Secret, I think I want to say it's 10,000 to become one. So you basically open up, right? You use your computer. Most people have standalone machines for this, and your computer is just running and validating transactions. but you need to have a large amount of that crypto stake to be able to validate the transactions, and then you make your money from the fees, as well as other people staking on your validator and on your node. You make money from them because you charge a fee for them to stake on your validator and node, and then they get a split of money from transactions.
And you're using like GPUs and all that to build a rig to do this for you, right? This is part of the
Correct.
reason why gamers like you and me struggled for a while against crypto miners, validators, running up our graphics card costs to the roof. That was not a fun time for me who was trying to build a gaming rig, but I'm glad the prices have gone lower now. Well, I guess not as many people mining it these days because of the electricity costs.
No, it's not because of electricity costs, right? Like how Raven said with the right there, proof of work, right? So this comes into that thing, the difference between proof of work and proof of stake, right? So proof of work, you need to have the GPUs, right? You need to be able to do. How can I explain this to not make it complicated and give you a headache? Okay, think of being able to do hundreds of thousands of mathematical problems a second. That's proof of work in a sense, right? Where proof of stake is you're just confirming the transaction. Now, proof of work, you're mining new blocks, and within that block, you'll have the transactions that are being solved too. That's the easiest way to
Gotcha.
explain it without getting super crazy
Yeah.
into it.
Okay, so I'll be honest.
You're
I don't
like, I
understand
don't
shit.
understand.
Yeah, I'll
You
be
don't
honest, I don't
understand any of
shit.
this. Yeah. Just think proof of work using the GPUs, why the prices of GPUs are going up, mainly because of the Ethereum network. It was the easiest to mine, right? And Ethereum went and forked over to proof of stake. So that's why the prices of GPUs went up, is because everybody wanted to mine Ethereum because they saw the price of
Gotcha.
Ethereum was at $4,000.
And that was cheaper to do it at that moment, and then now the returns are not really catching up to what they were. So
There's no returns there at all.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Mining cryptocurrencies, and maybe this could be the last topic because I don't want to keep you forever. We could honestly be here forever, and I will scratch your brain for all night. No homo,
Yeah,
no
no
diddy. But I don't want to keep you here for too long. This could be the last topic.
I don't think he was scratching brains, but okay.
He was getting his brain scratched. Never mind.
Yeah.
So Bitcoin only has like what, 27, 21 something?
21 million.
21 million.
Yep.
And then halving happens every
4 years.
And that just cuts the supply of already mined Bitcoin.
I shouldn't say every 4 years. It's a subset of how many blocks, right? And it equals out to about every 4 years. Now, if more blocks are being mined, right, and being solved, that time frame could be dropped down smaller. Or if not as many blocks are being solved, the time frame is longer. But it averages out to about every 4 years.
But eventually we're going to hit that number, right? Not sure
hit
when.
21 million. Yeah, we'll hit the number. Estimates is 2,144.
Oh, I'm not even going to be alive for that.
No?
I don't think so. 2,144? Yeah, no shot.
Well, it's only 120.
No shot. Not happening. But if I am, that's going to be a wonderful, wonderful time to witness that opportunity. But once we actually get there, I have an opinion that people are just going to hoard the coin because, it's kind of like the GME short squeeze. If I just hold on to it and I don't sell it, the person who's short is just going to get screwed over and we're going to keep running higher and higher. So why would that help like the government adopt that system? Because they know people are just going to hoard onto it and it's not going to circulate.
Yeah, so I haven't really publicly talked on this, is my opinion. I think around 2110, 2115, Bitcoin is going to be obsolete. Because it's going to get to the point where, okay, the mining, right? We're there. The total supply is almost mined, right? The price is at an astonishing price. Outside of holding value, what else is it?
Yeah.
I get the governments buy it, right? And there is that supply. It's about 1.5 million roughly that's left to be mined. So I get that, but you know, 5 to 6 million of it is lost, gone forever. We're never going to get it. It's just people had it in their computers and just
Right.
tossed them away and said Bitcoin is shit, is 5 cents. I don't give a fuck about it.
Yeah.
So in reality, the supply is going to be 15 to 16 million, not 21 million at the end of it.
That's a very good point.
Right? But what's the point after it's all mined? What's the point of Bitcoin? That's where you come into crypto. There's other cryptos that are beyond Bitcoin. Like, yeah, it's going to hold its value, right? It will never go. But look at gold, for instance. So you can compare it to gold, but gold has an unlimited supply to an extent. To an extent, okay? For anyone who goes, oh, well, Earth's so big. But to an extent, we don't actually know how much fucking gold there is.
Right.
We have estimates. At least with Bitcoin, we know how much Bitcoin there's ever going to be, So I think it does get to the point where it's not going to go up anymore. It's not going to go down. But what's good? You're going to be able to send one Bitcoin that's going to be worth $10 million, But
yeah,
that's not
I've been
our
scratching
problem.
my head for a long time.
It's going to happen way after I'm fucking dead.
Exactly.
Okay? So
in the meantime, I'm gonna enjoy the rally.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
100%. I respect it. On that note, I'm gonna highlight you on here, Steve. Thank you for coming along. You and your boys at Alpha Exchange do the Lord's work for how corrupt this crypto area, as far as I've known it, has been. You guys have been the shining light. You guys have been the saviors, the warriors for the normal people. So thank you for what you guys do. I'm just gonna put you on the highlight, let people know when you go live, where can they see you, YouTube, Twitch, and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, so you can see us over on Twitch at Alpha Exchange, just the way it's spelled. Alpha Exchange. You can see us on Twitch. We are live from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. 6 days a week. We do chill on Sundays, and we chill in the Discord. And after stream's over, you're more than welcome to come in the Discord and hang out with us. And follow us on Twitter, Alpha Exchange, YouTube, Alpha Exchange, TikTok, Alpha Exchange, Instagram, Alpha Exchange. Just come and follow us over there and say hi, not just to myself, but to everybody in the community, especially the guys that are on stream, putting in the work to help everyone with any questions they have.
Yes, sir. You have an awesome community, and I'm very grateful to be a part of it. Obviously, everyone, go check them out. Thank you for coming on once again, and for my usual viewers, you guys know I'll be back Monday to Thursday, 8 p.m. So I'll catch you guys then. Until next time, TraderPrad out, and goodbye from Steve and Alpha Exchange and Party also. Peace.